The cold wrapped around the city like the mystery hiding in its alleys. The clock was edging toward midnight, and fog crept slowly through the empty streets. In one of the city's abandoned industrial districts, the last factory lights had gone out years ago. But tonight, a faint glow leaked from a window of an old warehouse marked number 12. An hour before the incident, Ismail, a janitor working nearby, was finishing his shift. Silence was normal in this part of town, but he noticed something unusual. A black vintage car pulled up in front of the warehouse. He couldn't see the driver clearly through the fog, but he caught a glimpse of two figures stepping out. No sound followed. Uneasy, he continued on his way. At exactly 11:30 p.m., the police received a strange call from an unknown man. His voice was calm, but cold. "You'll find her in the place where the sun never enters." The line went dead. Detective Hassam and his team moved quickly, interpreting the cryptic phrase as a reference to Warehouse 12, an old building whose windows had been boarded up for years, letting in no sunlight. Inside, the stench of mildew filled the air, and every step echoed through the empty space. In the center of the concrete floor lay a woman's body. There was no blood, no visible wounds. Her brown hair was neat, her clothes expensive, a fine coat, polished shoes, and modest but valuable jewelry. The only unusual detail was her silver wristwatch stopped precisely at 11:15 p.m. Hassam, with years of investigative instinct, knew the watch hadn't stopped by accident. It had been deliberately halted. Searching the scene, the team found only one clue: a small folded note under the heel of her shoe, written in black ink, "We all see what we want to see." Fingerprint scans revealed nothing. The woman didn't match any missing persons report, and her prints weren't in any database. Then came the janitor's testimony. He had seen the black car earlier, but strangely, no traffic cameras had recorded it entering the area. Reviewing the footage revealed something stranger. Every camera leading to the warehouse had stopped working exactly 2 hours before the murder and resumed minutes afterward. The autopsy report the next day shocked everyone. The woman hadn't been strangled, stabbed, or shot. She had died from a massive dose of a rare surgical sedative, available only in major hospitals. Hassam and his partner Layla traced the drug to a hospital, where a doctor reported a small quantity stolen a week earlier. The theft was kept quiet to avoid scandal. When shown the victim's photo, the doctor's hand trembled as he insisted he didn't know her. But Layla noticed he was hiding a medical file. Under pressure, he admitted the woman had been his patient using a false name, paying in cash, and refusing to be entered into hospital records. On her last visit, she had told him, "If something happens to me, look for number 451. That clue led them to an apartment on the 4th floor of an upscale building. Inside, they found a room crammed with files, photographs, and hidden recording devices. One file held the victim's photo alongside images of a man in a black suit meeting. Various people, including a high-ranking police officer, Major Fuad, a former colleague of Hassam. Before they could confront him, Hassam's phone rang. The same cold voice from the night of the murder said, "Walk away from this case, or you'll be the next victim." Hassam placed Fuad under surveillance with the help of Samar, a photojournalist skilled in tailing suspects. The first night revealed nothing. The second night, Fuad left home at 10 p.m. with a small bag and met a man on an old bridge, the same man in the photos with the victim. Samar snapped pictures and sent them to Hassam. Then his signal vanished. An hour later, Samar's car was found abandoned, doors open, camera smashed. Realizing this was now a war against a hidden network, Hassam returned to Warehouse 12, hoping to find something he'd missed. He noticed a floorboard had been moved recently. Underneath was a small metal box containing an old cassette tape and a tiny golden key. The restored tape revealed the victim's voice. "If you're hearing this, know that I didn't die by chance." There's a network controlling part of the police, trafficking medical drugs abroad. I witnessed a deal involving a man named Salim Rashid. The key opens a safe deposit box with all the evidence. Salim Rashid was infamous, wealthy, untouchable, never convicted despite countless investigations. At the bank, the safe deposit box contained files, recordings, and photos proving drug trafficking, money laundering, and names of high-ranking officers involved. The last photo shocked Hassamit was of the victim, standing next to him more than 10 years ago, during a corruption case he had long forgotten. He remembered now she had been a witness he'd helped smuggle out of the country for her safety. He thought she'd disappeared forever. Why had she returned? His phone rang again. Same voice. "Well done, Hassam. Now you have everything. But you won't live to see tomorrow." Before he could react, masked men stormed the bank, guns raised. A shootout erupted. Hassan was hit, but before collapsing, he threw the files to Layla, shouting, "Run! Don't let them take it." Layla escaped into the night under a hail of bullets. Cameras lost her in the darkness. 2 days later, a 10-second video appeared online. Layla, in an unknown location, whispered into the camera, "The truth isn't what you think. Hassam is still alive." The feed cut to black.